Hey, this is Miss Sebastian, and we're going to look at histograms part 2 today. So, the chart shows the weight of the pumpkins to the nearest tenth of a pound at the pumpkin patch. So, how many pumpkins weigh 4.5 pounds or more? Okay, so I see right here is 4.5 pounds, and we want to look at or more. Okay, so we're going to look at, here's 24. And I see that these are also or more, and there's 20 of those. So when I add those together, I do get 44. This next one says which statement about the data is not true? Okay, so this is a pollster surveyed the ages of people attending a movie. Okay, so more than 50 people under the age of 35 attended the movie. So if I'm looking for under the age of 35, I'd say this one, this graph, so that's 30, and this one, which is 35. So 30 plus 35 is 65, so that one is true. We're looking for the one that's not true. So this is not our answer. Fewer than 30 people attending the movie were between the ages of 35 and 45. Okay, so this was at 25. So fewer than 30 people attending? Yes, that's true. Okay, there were 25 attending. So B is not our answer. More than 50 people attending the movie were between the ages of 15 and 35. Well, we already added that one. That was 35 plus 30. And that gave us 65. So that is more than more than 50 people. And then fewer than 10 people attending were 45 years old or older. Well, if we look at 45 to 55, that is 15 people. So I would say that this last one here is our answer. Number 3. How many people made $1,400 a month or more? Okay, so here's 1,400. So I need to know this plus this. So that was 16 people. This was 8 people. So I would say in here, let me check my numbers real quick. Let's see, it's 16. Oh, and 9. Sorry, not 8. Had to bring it a little bit closer to me. So that is 25. Okay, how many people made $1,000 or more and less than 1,400? That's going to be this graph here, and it goes up to 18. So I'd say that that one is 18. How many people made $600 a month or more? So I'm actually going to write in 18 in this column. This was 18, this was 16, this was 9, and this one is 6. That just gives me a easier way to look at it. So how many people made $600 or more? That would be all of them. So I'm going to add up all my numbers. 6 plus 9 plus 18 plus 16. Well, 6 plus 9 is 15. 15 plus 18 is 33. Oh, I missed it again. The reason being, this is 49. this one right here is actually reaching to 7. That's why I didn't get that correct. So that would make it 50. And then how many people made $1,400 or more but less than 1,800? So the only column I am looking at here would be the 16. So that one would be 16. Okay, a researcher collected data on the heights of men. The data is displayed in the histogram. What's the best estimate for the number of men represented in this data? So we're going to look over here and we're going to count up. We've got 15 men in the first column. We've got 35 men in the second column. We've got about 33 in the third column. And about 15 in this column. Okay, this is an estimate, so we can't tell exactly how many of each were in each column, but that'll give us a good representation. So I'm going to add these up. So 35 plus 15 is 50. Then I'm going to add the 33. That gives me 83. And add the 15. That's about 98. So a good representation, a good estimate is the closest one. That is 96. Okay. Question 5. A researcher asked the commuters how many kilometers they drive to work each morning. Okay, so our first question is how many people travel less than 30 kilometers each morning? So I'm going to look in the first column and I see that there's 11. In the second column, I see that there's 9. In the third column, I see 13. And in the fourth column, I see 7. So that just gives me an easier way just to eyeball it. So how many drive less than 30 kilometers? That'd be this column and the first. So the first and the second, 11 plus 9 gives me 20. Now I'm going to look at the next question. It says 9 people travel blank or more and less than 30 kilometers each morning. So 9 would be this second column, and that is between 20 and 30. And then how many people were surveyed in all? So I have to add up all my numbers. 11 plus 9 plus 13 plus 7. So 11 plus 9 is 20, plus 13 is 33, plus 7 is 40. Okay, how many cantaloupes weights are shown? So I'm going to go over here to cantaloupes because I see the first graph is of watermelons. And I want to know how many were shown. So I see 2 in the first column, 5 in the second, 8 in the third, and 9 in the fourth. So I'm just going to add them up. 2 plus 5 is 7, plus 8 is 15, plus 9 is 24. So there were 24 cantaloupes that were weighed. Okay, how many more cantaloupes than watermelons weigh less than 8 pounds? So on cantaloupes, I'm going to be adding up all the columns here. So there were 2, 5, 8, and 9. So that's 15, 24 total. And then watermelons that weighed less than 8 pounds. So I'm going to have 4 to 8, that's 7. And 0 to 4, that would be 3 of them. So that's 10. So how many more cantaloupes than watermelons weigh less than 8 pounds? So all I'm going to do is subtract. 24 minus 10 does give me 14. So my answer would be 14. Okay, how many watermelons weigh more than any of the cantaloupes? Okay, so I know that the biggest cantaloupe was 8 pounds. So I'm going to look at how many watermelons are over 8 pounds. So I'm looking at the third and the fourth column of watermelons. I see there were 10 in the third column and 4 in the fourth column. So that is 14 total watermelons that weigh more than the cantaloupes.